I bet those glasses make you see better.
Looks on a scale of 1 to 10. You can't pick 7. Starting with you, Alex. Go ahead.
Can I give my honest answer of what I think, or am I going to be a troll? Okay. Well, I've been on twice already, and I said 10, so I'm going to stay with 10.
Okay. What about you?
Like 8.
Okay.
6.
My answer would be 7, but I guess for the sake of this, I'll go like 8 or 6. It depends on the day, you know? Sometimes I wake up
I'll put
ugly.
6. I'll put 6. I got you.
Damn,
I'd give myself an 8.
Okay.
I'll just say an 8 too.
Into the mic if you can.
An 8.
8. Okay. What about you?
A 6.
Okay.
Like a 5.
Haven't you rated it higher before?
I did 6.9.
Yeah, stick with 6.9.
Okay,
Come on.
I'll do 6.9.
All right. I give myself a 5. Andrew, what about you?
I mean, I'm clearly a 10.
Clearly.
I actually like that energy.
Why are you laughing? What's so funny about
I like that energy. I felt like you finally, like we were on the same page there, so I actually enjoyed that 100%.
Okay. And I'm curious though. You've had some plastic surgery, right?
Filler, yeah.
The lip filler. Were you a 10 before the lip filler?
No.
What were you before?
I'll give myself an 8.
So the lip filler, just to be clear, the lip filler added 2 points to your
completely changed my face.
Yeah,
I agree.
That's what I do as a job.
It completely changed your face.
Yeah.
It does.
Okay.
It enhances what you naturally have. Well, for some people go a little bit too far with it, don't they? But it can just enhance what is already there. So.
Okay. And then I'm curious, so you're a 10. Who is a guy that you think is a 10?
That's a hard one. I don't really think about guys in that way.
Because of the billionaire thing, we get it.
Probably like Jalen Hurts.
Who the fuck is that guy?
I have no idea who the fuck that is. Okay, Jalen Hurts. Okay, can we pull? Should we? Jalen? Can you Google that? Jalen Hurts.
Good one.
Yeah.
I'm saying Justin Bieber.
All right, I see it.
Justin Bieber.
Is it because he's a professional athlete?
No, it's a handsome-looking man. You're asking me objectively attractive. Who's an attractive man?
Okay, that's like a 10 for you.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Good smile. Seems
and then can you tell me like think of a woman who's a 10 that we could like pull up?
Megan Fox.
I was literally just about to say that. Yeah.
Megan Fox.
Yeah, sure. We don't. I think most people know what she looks like. So your assessment of your own looks is you're just as attractive as Megan Fox in terms of your physical appearance.
Are you gonna stop the cat? I can be delusional. Yeah, I'm 100%. I stick by my answer.
Oh, you said you can be delusional, is what you're.
No, you can say I'm delusional.
Oh, I thought you.
But
you
I
were
believe
say. Do you believe you're delusional?
Maybe. Okay. I think that's not a bad thing entirely.
To be delusional. Interesting.
I think life's a lot better when like you just
when you're just
think you're like the hottest piece of ass on the planet.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean that's interesting though because do you think that might have an impact on like the kind of person you can actually get, whether you're a man or a woman who's delusional? If you're like, I'm this attractive, I deserve this caliber of person, but can't get them, or I'm at least for women, I can only get sexual access to these men, but I can't lock them down for a relationship. So do you think being delusional is actually helpful?
Yeah, because you move in the world with a different confidence. I've never had that problem that you're talking about in terms of like locking people down. I've never personally had that.
You're 27 and you've been single for 3 years.
By choice.
Who did? Oh, by choice.
By choice.
But you said you've never had any trouble locking people down, but you're sleeping and fucking men. So can you explain that?
Well, if I am hooking up with someone, it's one person at a time, but it's not like
that's fine. Cool.
Okay. So I choose not to be in a relationship.
Okay.
That's my choice.
Sure.
But it doesn't mean that I'm not able to lock it down.
So just to be clear, all these billionaire men that you're like dating and sleeping with, you're just like, oh, I'm just gonna like continue to like fuck different people, albeit one at a time, and I'm not gonna actually, you know, get into a relationship.
Could be, if that was the case.
That could be the case, yeah. Yeah, interesting. Okay. And do you want kids?
Yeah.
You want to be married?
Sure, someday, if I find the right guy.
Okay, if you find the right guy who's a billionaire.
Ideally,
right. Okay, that's pretty interesting. It's such a troll.
That's not a troll.
Yeah, so you think that it would be, I guess, how do I want to frame this? If somebody, like, for example, let's say there's a guy who, he lived in his mom's basement, smoked weed every day, played video games, didn't have a job, he was like obese. I'm trying to think what other descriptors, like Cheeto dust, the whole meme, whatever. And he was like, you know what? I'm delusional. I will only date like a 10 out of 10 Victoria's Secret model. Do you think like he's gonna get her?
Do you think that's a fair comparison?
Absolutely, sure.
That's what I'm giving right now.
Yeah, you want to date a guy who makes $1 billion a year? Yeah.
Okay. If you feel that way, that's
But why don't
okay.
you answer my question before asking me a question? Go ahead.
Rephrase your question for me,
How
please.
about you repeat it back to me?
The question was, am I in the same boat as the person that you described?
No, I'll ask the question again. So the guy I described, do you think it would be reasonable for him to be like, I'm not going to settle for less. I want a virgin Victoria's Secret supermodel, 10 out of 10, not these like woke supermodels, none of that shit. Like I'm talking like old school supermodels, that status, right? You think he's delusional? You think he can get a supermodel? Like most y'all women would clown on a dude like that who's like, I'm gonna wait for a Victoria's Secret model.
First of all, that's none of my business on what that person wants and what they would try to go after. So
Yeah,
am
I'm
I to
asking
say
you to
they're
engage
delusional?
with a hypothetical. So
Right? Do I think they're delusional? Sure.
Okay, cool.
So I said, I already told you think that.
That's cool, but do you think they're gonna be able to get the Victoria's Secret model?
I don't know. I can't answer
really?
that. I don't know.
How about this? If you had to bet your life on it, you had to bet your life, or you had to bet all the money that you have made and will make and currently have. If you were a betting woman, how would you bet?
I can't answer that question.
Yes, you literally can. It's a hypothetical.
Probably, but he wouldn't. But is there a chance that he could? I have no idea. There's a lot of things that go into that.
So you would bet against him?
Sure.
Cool. So he's delusional.
I already said that though.
Right. But do you think it's a good, like, if he's perhaps ignoring, let's say there's a lot of men who also think like him, who are in his exact same position. You don't think that this is going to, lead to perhaps, and say they also want to have kids and get married, and they're like, but I'm not settling unless I get that Victoria's Secret model. Do you think he's going to ever have kids and get married?
Well, how is that my problem?
I'm not asking whether it's your problem or not.
Do I think he's ever going to have kids? No, probably not, but that's not my problem. If he wants that and he can't get that, then that's his own problem.
Right. Yeah.
So I said, if I find somebody that I want to make my husband, that makes sense, I will get married. If not, then I won't. I already said that.
Sure. Andrew, I think you had something on this.
Yeah, well, I mean, just a couple of questions. So, do you agree that Los Angeles, California is a place where many, many young, beautiful women go in order to make it in both Hollywood or in order to network? It's probably one of the major places on planet Earth for young, beautiful women to go to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you would say that the competition out there is pretty stiff, right?
I don't look at other women as competition, but if you put it that way, then sure.
Well, you don't look at other women as competition?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Like, so you've never thought, wow, there's really a lot of beautiful women around me, and there's going to be some type of competing which has to be done if you want to get a ring on your finger by a billionaire at least. Right?
No, I don't really look at that scenario in that way.
What
Truthfully.
way do you look at it?
I've never walked into a room of bad bitches and I'm like, damn, there's competition in here. That's like not really how I live my life, you know?
Okay, how do you look at it then?
I'm Alex Zamora. I live my life and I look how I look, and my personality is what my personality is. So I will gravitate towards the people that like me.
Yeah, right. But again, you're gonna have a ton of competition in that localized area, especially the Los Angeles area, all around there, Santa Barbara. There's tons of rich yuppies all around that area. That's true. Mm-hmm. But they can get whoever the fuck they want. So why do they want you exactly? When they can have any beautiful woman that they want.
Well, maybe they don't. That specific guy that you're talking, like, I don't know what we're even talking about here, because you're trying to make me feel like I should have competition with other women, but that's just not how I run my life.
Well, whether you run it that way or not doesn't mean that that's not the fact of the matter. The fact of the matter is that there's many women who are in a similar boat to you who would want a man who was handsome and made a lot of money. You would agree that that's true, right?
Sure.
So what makes you exceptional in comparison to these other women?
I'm me. All the qualities that I am and I have.
And those are?
My looks, my personality.
But looks-wise, you're in a place that is known for having the most beautiful women on planet Earth.
Sure, beautiful is subjective.
Yeah. Well, perhaps. But do you think that there's a subjective standard which is shared by most people?
Sure.
Like, for instance, don't you think that if you ask most men if they thought that Megan Fox was hot, or if they thought like a multiple ICU burn victim was hotter than Megan Fox, they'd probably answer Megan Fox was hotter, right?
Sure.
Now, I can concede that there may be some guy out there somewhere who wants a multiple ICU burn victim. I have never met him, but I'm sure he exists. But at least within the confines of the subjective standard, it seems that there would be some kind of agreement as to what a beautiful woman does look like, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So if that's the case, then you seem to, at least from the subjective, have tons and tons and tons of stiff competition, which is available to compete with you. So I'm just asking you, what are the things which would make you stand out from that stiff competition?
My personality.
What's so great about that?
What's so great about my personality?
Yeah.
I'm actually really funny, but you guys are, I don't know, everyone's
Tell me a joke. Make me laugh.
I've already made you laugh with my delusional answers.
You haven't made me laugh, but tell me a joke, funny lady. Come on.
That's not really my humor.
I want to
laugh.
I want to laugh. Come on. I want to laugh. Tell me a
Well,
joke.
she's funny, not a comedian. You know?
No, got it.
Thank you.
All right. What else? What are the other things that really make you stand out?
I am loyal. I cook, I clean.
So the competition that you would have would be against other potential women who are beautiful, at least whatever your subjective standard was, because you're a 10, right? So that would leave an awful lot of other 10s also in competition who are loyal and cook and clean. Gee, I could see where a millionaire would really, he would be like, damn.
You're so right.
That's the thing that grabbed me. Because all these other women aren't loyal and don't cook and clean. Doesn't that seem strange to you?
It's honestly hard to find that these days. It's like low key. But sure, if you feel that way.
It's hard for a millionaire to find a pretty woman who cooks, cleans, and is loyal. Really? That's hard for them? You think that's difficult for a millionaire to find?
In LA, probably, yeah.
Where they have like the whitest selection ever, which would be LA, of exactly the, okay. All right. Well, that's really all I had on it. I don't know where Brian went, but.
We don't either.
Yeah, I have no idea. Well, let me ask you a question. You guys, you think, raise your hand if you said that you're above an 8. Yeah, your self-assessment was above an 8. or an 8 or higher? Just one? Yeah. Okay. So I'm just curious, right? I'm always curious about this. If I ask you in the center chair, the redhead, I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name
Haley.
earlier. I usually have my notepad down here. and I
Yeah,
write it
that's
down,
okay.
But I didn't have it handy, so my apologies in advance. What makes you an 8, do you think?
I don't
not
think.
personality-wise, right? Everyone wants to always say my personality, but it's a self-assessment for beauty.
Okay.
And
Aesthetically.
and not for personality. Yeah.
I would say I have a bit of a different look. I have crazy big red hair. I don't know. I just look a little bit alternative. I from the attention that I have received throughout my life, I'm judging it on that also. But then that would be personality as well. It's kind of like as a whole. But yeah, I think I've learnt to like myself enough to know that, yeah, I'm good looking. I think it'd be quite worrying if I thought I was less than that, to be honest, with the life experience that I have.
Okay. And then Chair 1, what are the things that make you a 10 from a subjective beauty standpoint?
I have a different look also. I'm half Asian, half Filipino, half Italian, high cheekbones, cute little button nose, big doe eyes that look right into your soul. I don't even know where the camera's
no,
at.
you're
I'm like,
tall,
where's the
too.
fucking camera?
I mean, look at her.
I have
No,
an
I know
athletic
what
build. You know, whether Brian likes it or not, I'm getting a boob job next month. So, no more 8 cups. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm athletic, I'm fit, I have a 6-pack, my face is subjectively,
Very
I think,
symmetrical.
attractive.
I don't know if you guys have seen her side profile, but
Yes.
it's making
I know,
me
it's
debate
perfect.
getting a nose
Serious.
job.
It's so
like
nice.
it's honestly.
Oh, if I kiss you on the forehead.
Yeah, your nose is very nice.
Thank you. I've been getting a lot of nose job allegations, and like, I'm not a gatekeeper, so if I did get a nose job, I totally would put you guys on, give you the surgeon, but this is my nose. I just
If
contour
that
the
was
fuck out of it.
surgery, I would like pay you for the answer.
I
It's
don't know,
clear
I
that
would
it's
give it to you.
natural.
No, a lot of people are like coming for me on the internet, like, you got a nose job, stop lying. I'm like, I wouldn't lie. I'm very honest.
Yeah,
It's one thing about me. Maybe delusional, but I'm honest.
All right. Andrew, did you have more, or I had to step away for a moment there?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. Okay, we're going to get this. Oh, no, we already got the chat, so we're all good on that. How about this? We got a different question related to this. Do you think you'll be better looking in 10 years' time? So you're 27. Do you think you'll be better looking in 10 years' time at 37?
I honestly do. I feel like at 27, I still have a bit of a baby face. So as I get a little bit older, I think my face will be a little bit more like snatched. Maybe I'll peak in my 30s. That's been my answer consistently over the past 2 shows also.
Okay, and then better looking in 20 years' time?
20 years? Like I said, I think I'm gonna peak in my 30s. So maybe my 40s, you know, I'll age with grace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I think when I'm in my 30s, I'm gonna be like peak adult, like snatched type of look.
Okay,
you know?
so
Yeah.
37 better than 27, but 47 not better than 27.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you better looking at 27 or 18?
27.
Okay, you're 22.
Yes.
Is that your actual age?
Yeah, I'm 22.
Okay. You're better looking. Will you be better looking in 10 years' time at 32?
Yeah, I think so. It's kind of the same answer. I feel like I need to mature into my looks. Still kind of like
Okay.
young. I say baby face maybe.
Sure. 20 years' time at 42?
I don't know about better, but it wouldn't be bad because my mom is beautiful and she's like much older than that. And she just aged really well. So I hope I age just like her too.
But do you think you'll be better looking than at 22, at 42?
I feel like I'll probably be more youthful at 22. So maybe, yeah, look more mature at 40 too.
Okay. You're 28, better looking in 10 years' time at 38.
Yes, I think so, because I think I just recently started getting pretty. So I think I get prettier every year since like 3 years ago.
You just started getting
Yeah.
pretty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just woke up one day.
Love it
No,
when that
'cause
happens.
I don't know. I was like, not that cute before.
You hit a certain age, I feel like, as a girl where like you're like, okay, wait, I'm starting to get into my
Yeah.
more like adult looking.
Yeah.
I think it's because of my genetics too.
Yeah.
Like I look like prepubescent.
I still get carded.
What about 20 years time at 48? Better looking.
I don't know. I think I would look good for my age, like at 48.
But will you be better looking than you do now at 28?
No, I think I'll probably look better right now.
Okay. And then compare 28 going back 10 years to 18, better looking now?
Definitely. I wasn't cute at 18.
Okay. You're 19, better looking in 10 years time at 29?
Probably, yeah. I think I'll grow into my features.
20 years time 39?
You know, my mom is hot, and like she's always been hot. And then don't even get me started on my grandma. Like I have good genetics, so
You've got a hot grandma.
I'm trying not to be cocky.
That's very true.
But
There's nothing
if
wrong
I'm
with
going
saying
to
you've
be
got good
cocky, then like
genetics.
yeah, absolutely, probably. I think
What do you think though?
in my family, everyone has consistently gotten more beautiful. Like my grandma, people stop her on the street to tell her that she's beautiful for her
That's
age.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I think I just got really lucky genetics wise. I think also like your glow from within. I hope that once I'm like settled into the life that I want, I'll be able to afford to look the way I want to look. And I think
What do you mean by that? Like plastic surgery or?
no, just like dressing better and, you know, taking like better care of myself and whatnot. What do they call it? Look maxing or something like that? Yeah.
So is it the case that yes, you'll be better you think you'll be better looking at 39 than you are now at 19?
I'd hope it stays like about the same. But is that an okay answer?
I mean, yeah, that can be, if your answer is I think I'll look the same, that can be your answer.
I don't think I'll look the same, but
Well,
I
you
hope
won't,
that I'll
but-
like scale the same,
You'll scale the
Like,
same.
if
So
we're
you'll be
talking, like,
just
out
as
of time.
attractive.
hopefully.
Okay, what about 30 years time, 49?
Probably not, but I think like again, my mom is hot, so it's hard to say. If I look anything like my mom, I'll be hot.
Do you think if like you and I'm not sure if your mom is single, well, you're not single. If you and your mom were together at like a bar, do you think
Oh,
you
we get stopped.
No, sure, but do you think you would outcompete your mom?
See, that's hard. She was a model, and she was a pretty successful model at that. I don't know. I don't think I think now probably, yeah, I'm 19 and she's in her like late 50s. So yeah.
Okay. You're 35. Will you be better looking in 10 years time at 45?
I mean, I'd like to think so, but who knows? I feel like women are becoming like more in their prime, older now. I feel like older women are more like they're coming into their beauty. I feel like years ago, 45 would have been pretty old, but now it's like you're still actually quite young. So, yeah, I mean...
No, it's definitely not like that.
Do you think that? Well, I meet loads of girls.
Well, I mean, that's not what the data shows either. I mean...
Well,
so if you-
I meet a lot of women...
Well, I'll explain what I mean so that you know, right? So if you look at what men are attracted to, or what men are saying they're attracted to, it doesn't seem to matter what their age is. Like, let's say they're 22, all the way up to 92, right? They all still are the most attracted to the 22, 23-year-old women. And this kind of tracks, and it makes a lot of sense because youth is associated with fertility. So it would make sense that men are hardwired to go after the youthful appearance of women because that's the thing that would make them attractive. From like an evolutionary perspective, men would be going towards the thing which would attract them, which should be fertility. That would be the way for us to perpetuate the species. So that kind of makes sense, right?
I understand what you're saying, but I do also think a lot of women look a lot younger than they actually are.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
they're looking after themselves a lot better than they were.
And they don't have all the shit all over their face.
Yeah.
They don't have all the stuff tucked in all the different places in the clothes, and you know what I mean. Then suddenly it's a different appearance, right?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that ultimately it does appear that men generally seem to be attracted towards youth. It doesn't matter if you're 30 or 45 and you're constantly trying to present yourself as being more youthful than you are. They still seem to want to select for the younger women if they can. And that completely makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I'm just asking for clarification. Was the question attractive in terms of the male gaze or the female gaze? Was there like a distinguishing there? Because I think maybe
yeah,
we
that
were
would
all
change my
answering
answer.
probably on like, obviously from us, like,
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's more so like when we're thinking of attraction, we're typically talking about like most women are heterosexual, so like they're not romantically or sexually attracted. Women might be able to make like looks assessments towards other women, but I'd say we're talking about from the male perspective.
Got you. Yeah, I think that's where our answers maybe were skewed, because from like, have you heard of that before? Like the woman gaze and the male gaze?
Sure.
Okay. Well, I was just saying, like, from a woman's gaze, right? Like, we look at another woman in a very specific way, and you're like, oh, that's a beautiful woman. And it's typically someone that is a little bit, like, more mature in their facial features.
I completely agree. Like, I was talking about in my personal opinion, not in, like...
Sure.
What you think men think of you,
I'm just
because that's not always what's most important.
So, I don't know if we finished up. Better looking in 10 years' time at 45?
Sorry?
Better looking in 10 years' time at 45?
I'm going to say no.
Okay. And you're 35, were you better looking 10 years ago at 25?
No, actually, I'm better looking now.
Better looking now? Okay.
Yeah.
You're 20, better looking in 10 years' time at 30?
Me? Oh, could you repeat that?
Sure. So, you're currently 20. Do you think you'll be better looking in 10 years' time at 30?
One eternity later.
You never know. You never know. I could be. But,
Yeah, what do you think?
yeah. For, like, from my point of view, yes. From others, maybe not.
Okay. 20 years' time, 40? More attractive, better looking. And this pertains to looks. So 40 versus 20?
I don't know. I'm pretty youthful and good looking right now. I might look more like mature and like
different type
type of beauty. Yeah.
Okay. 30 years' time at 50? Better looking at 50 or now at 20?
Same.
Same?
Different type of beauty.
Different, okay. 40 years' time, 60 versus 20?
Again, same. Different type of beauty.
70?
Just growing.
Sure,
as far
70?
as I-
70?
70. Again,
Yes.
just maturing
80?
into the person I become.
Her grandma's
just be
beautiful.
80?
I just like
Yeah,
to
her
add in-
grandma is sexy.
No,
So
I'm
is
talking
mine.
about your
Oh.
grandma.
Okay.
Girl. We're not related. I'm saying your genes.
I mean,
But I mean, yeah.
I'd just be happy to still be alive, to be honest.
Yeah. Enjoy.
Okay. What about you, Des? So you're 18, better looking in 10 years' time at 28.
Yeah, probably.
20 years' time, 38.
Yeah.
30 years' time, 48.
Yeah.
40 years' time, 58.
Probably not.
Okay, so your peak is when? 38, 48? When do you think?
Like 48.
Your looks are going to peak at 48.
Oh, no. Probably 30.
30. Okay. But you do think at 48 you will be better looking than you are now.
Yeah.
Okay. And
mom's
Felicity, you've already done it, so we'll just skip. I guess a couple clarifying questions here. Let me let the chat come through, then I'll ask some clarifying questions.
Scott Bobble donated $200.
Is the audio all the way at 100? Can you
These
check?
girls are delusional. Thank you, redhead girl.
Wait,
makes
no,
me
it's-
think we might have
it's on the
someone with
keyboard.
a brain. Have fun, Andrew. This'll be fun being a bit.
Yo, Scott, thank you for the TTS, man. Appreciate it. There you have it. Thank you, man. A couple questions for you. Every single girl here who said, yes, I'll be better looking in 10, 20, 30, 40 years' time, whatever it is. If the Whatever podcast here, so there's two ways we can approach this. I'll do the plastic surgery one. I'm prepared to pay for your plastic surgery to get plastic surgery to age you. So like age your facial, whatever. And we can do like tattoo stuff. There's tattoo stuff. We can like do certain plastic surgery that'll age you forward how you're going to look, because y'all are saying I'm going to be better looking 10, 20, 30 years down the road. We can actually do plastic surgery to age you. We'll pay for it.
We can add crow's feet. We can add all
Yep.
bags. We can add the whole
Yep.
9 yards.
And so we'll pay for it, and we'll pay you $5,000 on top of it to do. And because, I mean, you guys are all saying, well, I'll be better looking then or just as good looking. I suppose this perhaps applies more to those of you who said, I'll be better looking. Anybody here willing to take the offer?
I think the reason I say I look more pretty then is because I created that. Because sometimes, like Eve was saying, like look maxing and like different things like that, it's like the beauty comes from the growth that you had.
Life
getting
experience.
there.
Yeah, but we're talking about physical looks.
Aesthetically.
I mean, I think people with smile lines are like objectively pretty because you can tell that
Sure.
they're enjoying their
Sure,
life.
I'm not
you
even
know?
going to dispute it. People with smile lines can be like an attractive characteristic. But the question is, who here is willing to actually like step up to the plate? We'll pay for the procedure. I'll give you $5,000 on top of it. We will, and we'll get you the plastic surgery to make you look more attractive. Like who here? Does anybody here want to be less attractive? Who here wants to be more attractive?
More.
I mean,
More.
like,
Oh, absolutely.
I'm down to get.
Okay, so who's willing to sign a legally binding contract and we'll pay for the plastic surgery procedure and we'll give you $5,000 on top of that and we will ageify you?
So
Des, you said you'll be better looking at 48. We can make you 48.
Yeah.
Are you willing to do it?
I don't really want to go into surgery.
You probably won't get carded as much.
Okay.
Can you
I'll
just
give
use a face
tell you
app
what,
instead?
Let me do a different example. Let's say I could, since you guys won't bite on this one, which calls into question the dubiousness of your previous answers. Let's say I could wave a magic wand. I wave a magic wand, and magically, however y'all said would be your peak, or you said you'd be looking better at 48, 30, 30, 40s, whatever. I wave a magic wand, and you don't actually age internally at all. You're inside, you're the same, but everything external, skin, face, whatever, that ages. But you're not going to get any health problems sooner than you otherwise would. You're not going to die sooner than you otherwise would. But your outward external appearance, we're going to age that forward 10, 20, 30 years. Magic wand.
Absolutely not.
Do you take it?
No.
I think there's beauty.
Oh, and just to be clear, you stay there. So like, let's say we age you forward 10 years. You don't you stay at that 10-year forward look for 10 years. So it's not like, okay, when you're 80, you're going to look 90 type thing. Who takes it? Magic wand.
I feel like I would.
You would, and what
Yeah.
you said,
Because I feel like I want to look
you're,
more like a
28.
woman. Yeah.
You want to look more like a woman.
Yeah, because I feel like
What do you,
I look more
you look like more like a man
girl.
right now?
A
Or
girl.
What do are you trans or I'm just,
No, I look more like a girl rather than like a woman.
You look like a woman in her late 20s. I don't think. Chat, do you think she looks, what do you think, how old do you think you look? 12?
Well, I've gotten in high school like pretty recently, like maybe like 2 weeks
Well,
ago.
how tall are you?
I honestly thought
I'm
you were
5
my
feet.
age.
Okay, sometimes height can play a factor there, but
How old are you?
I'm 28.
28. I'd say you look
here,
about
can we
22, 23.
Anybody take the magic wand offer?
No.
the second one, no. The first one, I just said I have a baby face. So if you were to like make my face not look like a baby face and snatch it, then sure.
Sure.
But like in terms of like crow's feet and all that, like I get Botox for that anyways, so it's
Yeah.
not gonna happen.
No, I mean like I want to look more mature, if that makes sense.
So do you want to do the surgery though? We can do it.
No,
We'll
I
pay
don't
for
want
it.
to do any surgery because I would, if I got surgery, I'd obviously get like a nose job and boob job, but I don't want to
Why,
like go
obviously?
under it. What do you mean?
Why obviously? Why is that obvious?
Because I feel like it makes people look better. Like one
like a
surgery
boob
can like
job.
change your like
Yeah.
entire look basically.
Okay. Why is it obvious?
Because I don't have boobs.
Okay, that's sure. All right. Wait. Oh, can you check the Discord? Do you remember how to do the, so we age advanced all of you guys with the AI. So do you know where to go? You go to the research tab in Discord. Do you see the age advancements?
Oh my God, what is going on?
Okay. While he's doing that, Jamie says, Chair 1 said, I'm half Asian, half Filipino, which is Asian, and half Italian, and not one chick on the panel asked any questions about it.
What is there to ask questions about that?
Wait, Jamie, what do you...
Half.
I think it actually tracks. I mean...
Yeah. Wait, what?
I feel like
She's
that
not
is the
saying...
explanation,
When she
right?
says half Asian, half Filipino,
Yeah,
what
I
she's
was
saying is
clarifying.
the half Asian is the Filipino.
Yeah.
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 And then the other half is the Italian.
Yes.
And the other half is... Never mind.
Crazy bitch.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Delulu.
Gets under... okay, do you have that? Have they come through? They haven't? Wait, are you in the research tab? Oh, that's strange. Okay. Well, I'll come back and check it out really quick. Andrew, do you have a quick, while I'm just going back there, quick thing on this, Andrew, when it comes to that?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind engaging. Have you guys ever heard of the wall?
No.
No. The wall is this other magic thing, except it actually exists in objective reality. And every woman eventually hits it, right? Every woman eventually hits the wall. And what this is signifying is that when you hit the wall, essentially your attractive level, you're past whatever that prime is, and you're not going back to it. Now, as all of you are saying that if we aged you forward, you think that you would be much more attractive. And this isn't to pick on anybody, but there is a woman in the room right now who's 35 years old. Okay, she's 35 years old. You do realize that you can't escape age. She knows it. She's 35. You can't escape, right? There is no escape for any of you. You are going to hit that number. And do you honestly think that you're going to look the same that you do now or better? You don't think that that's slightly delusional? Like, for instance, I'll give you an example. Do you think that if the average, 25-year-old millionaire had to select between the 35-year-old or the young women who were here, from the 35-year-old's perspective, which one do you think they would select for?
I think they would probably go for somebody that's younger.
Yeah.
Because they want young, that is a thing. I do see that. I do see that. They've always got a young girl on their arm, and it's more of a trophy kind of thing. It does make sense. I mean, at my age,
it's not just a trophy thing, it's an attraction thing.
Yeah.
You can't be with people you're not attracted to, right?
No.
You can imagine that people, there has to be attraction for there to be a relationship, right? That's at least, I think, a thing we can all agree on. You got to be attracted to who the person is you're with. So it's if it is the case that they would select for all of the other women who are in the room, what you're saying is that the men would be more attracted to the other women in the room. It's not a dunk or even trying to beat up on you. It's just pointing out the distinction between at 35, 40 years old, you're not going to look anywhere like you do right now, right? And that's a delusional take to think otherwise. Does that make sense?
But Kim Kardashian and Megan Fox look so good, and they're in their 40s.
When you're
so you have a combination of plastic surgery, personal trainers, huge amounts of makeup, filters, everything else in between. Sometimes, though, these actresses get snapshot. They get a paparazzi takes a quick snap while they're not in their filtered, makeup-induced, Hollywood glam. And they don't look so great, do they? A lot of them don't look so great. You look at them and you're like, she just looks like a plain chick after all. When all that glam is gone.
Haley. But from Haley's perspective, right, she already is in her mid-30s. And I think a lot of us kind of said we would peak attractively in our mid-30s. Or at least I think a couple of us.
I agree with that.
You feel like you are more attractive than you were, right, with your glow up over the past 10 years.
Yeah.
I personally think in my 30s will be my peak. I'm not saying in my 40s I'm going to be more attractive than now, but I would say in my 30s I'm going to peak.
Yeah, probably you're going to peak in your mid-20s like almost every other woman does.
Well,
and there's a reason.
But I also think that it's quite hard.
There's a reason why that the peak for women is in their 20s. It's this is a referent to childbearing. It's a referent to fertility. Men would be biologically and necessarily hardwired to be attracted towards women who were fertile. The older women get, the less fertile they become. It's really, it's that simple. It's just basic math, right?
Can I ask you a question? Is that okay?
Sure, sure.
When do you think men peak? And if so, do you think you've already peaked?
Well, women don't have the same problem with men.
Totally,
well, me,
totally.
yeah, I peaked years ago.
I'm a health science major, so
I'm
I'm fully
ugly
aware.
and old, but I don't give a shit, right? It's not important to me. But the thing is that for men, when you're talking about...
Thanks for watching. There is hope in Jesus Christ. He will never leave you or forsake you. Like and subscribe and join our Discord for friends and more.